Hi, I'm Chad Pitts of the Iowa Golf Association. George Turner is a member of our board of directors and was inducted into the Iowa Golf Hall of Fame in 2007. Occasionally George stops by the office and tells us golf stories from back in his heyday, the 50s, 60s, 70s, that era. We thought it'd be fun to tape some of that and put little short videos on the web. I hope you enjoy. Let's talk a little bit about the equipment that you guys used. You mentioned the old Balata balls and stuff. How many golf balls would you use during the course of a round? Because, you know, those got scuffed so much more. Did you have, every 3 holes you're switching balls or anything like that for when you were playing?
You played a golf ball till it got beat up. First of all, money was scarce. Golf ball, I can remember buying golf balls for 35 cents a piece.
For one ball? For one ball,
and a dozen for $3.95.
What were the top brands? I mean,
Titleist, U.S. Royal, Spalding, the Dot. It was a ball with one black or red dot on it. Max Fly had a little bullet-shaped or a target-shaped thing with a dot on it.
And the black and the red were the compressions of the ball, right?
Yeah. Titleist, for instance, if you played a ball with black numbers and black lettering, that was a 100 compression ball. That was the ball made for the better player. If it had red numbers, it was a 90 compression ball. But the golf balls, there were not a lot of people that made golf balls. As soon as you cut it, then you replaced it.
Right. But, would you do that once a round, once every couple rounds? How often would the ball cut?
You might play a ball.
You just don't see balls cut anymore,
You might play a ball 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah. You'd play it that many rounds?
Yeah. But the problem was that if you washed it, the paint wasn't as good. And we used to get what they called tour balls from Wilson Staff made a ball. And we used to get Wilson staffs from the rep for Wilson named Ed Kelly. And Ed would get us the tour balls, and they only had 1 coat of paint on them.
Okay.
So that the dimples would stand out real distinctly. And if you washed them a little bit, pretty soon the ball would start to turn gray. And you could see it. I mean, the whiteness was gone.
It makes it tougher to find.
Yeah, you could play until the ball got cut. Now, if you hit a ball and it lit on a cart path, or not a cart path because there weren't any, on gravel or something, it would really scuff the Balata color.
Sure. I do remember playing old Balata balls when I was high school golf. It was shortly after that the Pro V and everything started to come out, but the Titleist Professional and the Tour Balata was called.
Yeah.
And I just remembered how much those got beat up, during the course of a round. And you hit it seemed like you hit it one full swing with your gap wedge or sand wedge or something, and you just rip the cover off.
Yeah, you would scuff the cover.
Yeah.
There was a guy, well, he's in our Hall of Fame, John Lichty, who grew up in Iowa City and then eventually lived in Marshalltown, now lives in the Kansas City area. John's another one that was a great striker of the ball. And John would play a ball until he cut it, which was hardly ever.
Oh.
And
we had a pretty beat up golf ball.
Oh yeah. We were playing one time at Spencer, and a friend of mine playing a practice round, and Brad Shucott looked at the ball that John was playing. He said, "John," he says, "that ball's gray. There's no paint on it. If I give you a new ball, would you play it?" And John said, "Sure." Brad gave him a new Titleist. John took the old one, threw it in his bag, played the entire Northwest Amateur and the rest of the practice round with the same ball.
With that Titleist?
With that Titleist. Never cut it, never scratched it. It was just absolutely amazing.
Wow.